The moment I stepped onto the driveway, something felt off. I dropped my duffel bag, inhaled, and froze. The house smelled like dinner, warm bread and roasting chicken, but the air wasn't familiar. It was tense, thick, heavy. "Hey, you're home," Emily said, stepping from the doorway. Her smile wavered, fragile. She avoided my gaze. I forced a grin. "Yeah, I am." I tried to sound casual, but my chest tightened. "It smells nice in here." She nodded, her fingers fiddling with the hem of her blouse. "I thought I'd make your favorite." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to breathe and feel the welcome I had imagined for 3 years. But something in the curve of her shoulders, the way she shifted her weight, told me I was stepping into someone else's story. "Emily, you look different," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Her lips pressed together. "Different? I don't know what you mean." I noticed then. Her belly. Rounded. Not subtle. My stomach turned cold. My hands clenched at my sides. "Emily, is that?" She avoided my eyes again, taking a step back. I need to tell you something." My heart began hammering. "What is it? Tell me now." Tears welled in her eyes. I'm pregnant." I blinked. The words didn't land at first. My mind refused to process it. "Pregnant?" I asked, voice hoarse. "But it's not mine." Her head dropped. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't plan for this, but yes, it's not yours." I staggered back a step, my knuckles white as I gripped the doorframe. "Not mine? How and why?" I made a mistake," she whispered. "I was lonely. You were gone, and Michael, he was there. I hate myself for it." I felt the room spin. My chest tightened. "Michael." The name tasted like ash in my mouth. "Emily, how could you? All these years, all this trust." "I know," she said, her voice trembling. "I know, and I'm so sorry. I never wanted this to happen." I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit something. But mostly, I wanted to vanish, to escape this unbearable, raw truth. "So, everything we had, every promise, every night, it meant nothing to you?" Tears streamed down her cheeks. "It meant everything, but I was weak. I'm so sorry." I sank into the armchair, burying my face in my hands. My mind raced through memories, the nights I wrote her letters, the calls I made from abroad, the sacrifices I made, and now this. Betrayal, sharp as a knife. "Emily, how long?" I asked finally, my voice barely a whisper. 6 months, she said, sobbing. I didn't know how to tell you. I wanted to. I tried to wait. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. My stomach churned. 6 months, and I come home, and this is what greets me. She knelt beside me, reaching for my hand. I pulled away instinctively. "Please don't touch me," I said. My voice cracked. I can't. I know, she whispered, tears falling onto the floor. "I don't deserve your touch. I needed you to hear it from me." I shook my head. "I can't. I need air." I grabbed my duffel, my boots, and stormed out the door before she could stop me. The neighbors' eyes followed me. Whispers drifted across the lawn. I could hear their questions, their judgments. It didn't matter. Nothing mattered except the betrayal that had torn my world apart. I walked to the end of the driveway and paused. My mind replayed her face, her fragile smile, her trembling hands. How could someone I trusted so completely hide this? How could she? A cold wind hit my face. I pulled my jacket tighter, but it didn't block the ache in my chest. I wanted to scream. I wanted to fight. But all I could do was stand there, numb, as the sun set behind the houses, shadows creeping across the lawn like the darkness that had settled in my heart. "Emily," I whispered, voice breaking. Why me?" No answer came. Only the sound of distant traffic and the faint smell of dinner I couldn't bring myself to taste. I turned away from the house, each step heavy, each breath sharp. 3 years of service, 3 years of loyalty gone. In its place, betrayal, pain, and a question that would haunt me for months to come. And somewhere deep inside, a storm began to gather. A storm I didn't yet know how to name. I slammed the door of my old room and sank onto the edge of my bed, head in my hands. The walls smelled faintly of dust and old memories, a cruel reminder of what I used to call home. Was I blind? I muttered to myself. How could I have missed everything? Memories flashed. Emily laughing at something on her phone late at night. The way she avoided my calls. The way her eyes darted when I asked a simple question. And Michael's grin at her birthday party I missed while overseas, that smug, knowing smile. I picked up my phone, stared at the contacts. Jason, my oldest friend, my only one I trusted to keep a secret and give honest advice. I dialed. Jason, it's me. I need your help. Finally, Jason said, a hint of relief in his voice. Been waiting for this call. What happened? I swallowed hard. It's Emily. She's pregnant. And it's not mine. There was a pause. Damn it, Jason muttered. I hoped. I don't want hopes. I cut in, my voice shaking. I need proof. I can't confront her without proof. I can't just lose it without knowing for sure. Jason sighed. I can get it for you. Discreetly. I know a few people I can send to check her office, find out what's really going on with Michael. I clenched the phone. Do it, but keep it quiet. Nobody can know I'm back yet. Not neighbors. Not her parents. Nobody. I got it, Jason said. I'll handle it. You stay calm. I hung up, staring at the ceiling. My mind replayed every interaction I could remember. Her hands brushing against mine and pulling away. Her secretive texts I shrugged off as work stress. Her excuses for late nights. Was I that blind? I whispered. Did I fail her? Did I fail myself? I leaned back, gripping the headboard. Anger, heartbreak, and emptiness collided. I wanted to scream at her, throw something, tear the house apart, but I was empty. Hello. A knock on the door startled me. Who is it? I demanded. Sorry, it's me, Jason, he said. I came by before heading out. Just need a moment to talk. I opened the door, letting him in. His presence felt grounding. I need your advice, I said, voice low. I don't know if I should confront them now or wait. Jason shook his head. You need evidence. Emotions will destroy you if you act now. Collect facts, then decide. I ran a hand through my hair. Facts, right? But even then, even if I have proof, what do I do with it? I don't want to ruin myself in the process. Revenge doesn't have to be blind, Jason said. Be smart. Be patient. Let them show who they really are. Michael's arrogance will be his weakness. I nodded slowly, trying to take in his words. Michael, that smug bastard. I saw him at the party, laughing with her. I hated him the moment I saw him, but my hands clenched into fists. I need proof. I can't let him get away with this. Jason smiled faintly. Patience. That's all. And don't let anger cloud your judgment. Think strategically. Gather the evidence. Let karma do its work. I sank back onto the bed, thinking. My mind replayed moments I'd brushed off. Late dinners she claimed were for work. The night she said she couldn't talk because of meetings, the little excuses. All signs, tiny cracks I ignored. God, was I too naive? I whispered. Or did I just want to believe in her too much? Jason's words echoed in my mind. Strategic, patient, observant. Yeah, I have to be smarter than them. I have to outthink them, or I'll lose everything. I glanced at the empty wall, memories of laughter, fights, and love flashing like strobe lights. I fought for this marriage for years, and now, what do I fight for? Proof? Justice? Revenge? Jason leaned forward. All of it, but one step at a time. Don't rush. They'll reveal themselves. Watch closely, record everything, and then you'll decide. I nodded. Yeah, watch closely. Don't confront yet. Hours passed. I replayed our past conversations, her laughs, the subtle touches, the secretive glances. Michael's face kept appearing. That smug smile. That confident arrogance. My chest tightened every time I thought of him. I whispered to myself, I can't believe I didn't see it. I trusted her, and I was blind. But I won't be blind anymore. Jason's words lingered. Observe. Record. Let them unravel themselves. I stared out the window into the night, street lights flickering. The world was quiet, but my mind was screaming. Betrayal, rage, heartbreak, emptiness, all mixed into one unbearable storm. I clenched my fists. I'll get proof. And when I do, Michael, Emily, you'll see. I'm not the man you can break. Not anymore. The room felt heavy. Shadows stretched across the floor. But somewhere in that darkness, a plan began to form. A silent, calculated plan. I didn't know yet how far I would go, but I knew one thing for certain. I wouldn't let betrayal win. Not me, not my life. I parked my car a block away and watched the cafe through the fogged-up window. Emily was inside, laughing, leaning close to Michael. My chest tightened like someone had punched it. I muttered to myself, how could she laugh like that? Her hand brushed his arm, subtle but enough. Enough to make my stomach twist. I gritted my teeth. God, they're so comfortable together. I pulled out my notebook and scribbled. Emily smiles too much, touches too much, laughing at a stupid joke. How long has this been going on? Jason's voice came to mind from last night. Observe. Record. Let them reveal themselves. I whispered, yeah, I'll see everything. I'll know everything. I ducked behind a lamppost as they stepped outside. Michael draped an arm over her shoulder. I missed you at the party, he said, smirking. Emily laughed softly. I tried to be there. I really did. Work got in the way. I clenched my fists. Work, of course. Always work. My jaw ached from holding back the urge to storm over there. I scribbled again. Michael smirk. She leans in, their heads almost touch. A waiter passed by. Hey, is someone out here? I ducked lower. Just nothing, I muttered. They walked toward a park bench. I followed at a distance, keeping to the shadows. My heart hammered with jealousy, anger, and heartbreak all at once. Michael laughed again. You're glowing, Emily. Must be the excitement. I felt bile rise. Excitement, his excitement. They think they can hide this from me. Emily's voice was quiet, almost vulnerable. I don't know. I don't want to lie anymore. It's hard to hide how I feel sometimes. I froze. She feels something for him. My hand shook as I wrote. Emily admits her feelings, confirms my fears. I ducked behind a tree. I can't believe I'm seeing this. My life, my home, my trust shattered. A woman approached them. Karen, Emily's friend. Hey, you too. Fancy seeing you here. Emily smiled, a little guilty, a little nervous. Karen, I didn't expect to see you. Michael grinned. Hey, Karen. We were just catching up. I scribbled. Karen, she's harmless, but maybe she notices things. Karen laughed. Well, don't get too comfortable. I know Emily's got a busy schedule. And Michael, you've been hanging around a lot lately. Emily blushed slightly. Yeah, well, life gets complicated sometimes. I pressed my forehead against the notebook. Complicated, right? She's complicating my life, not hers. Jason's advice replayed in my mind again. Observe. Patience. Facts first, emotions later. I whispered, facts, not emotions. Keep it together. Don't confront them. Not yet. Michael leaned in closer. I'm glad you're happy now. Really happy. Emily's smile faltered for a moment. I don't know if I deserve it, but it's been nice to feel normal again. I scribbled furiously. Normal? This is betrayal, and she feels guilty too. I can use that. I felt a cold anger spread through me. I can't let this go. Not yet, but I can't let them see me either. I have to watch carefully. Karen waved goodbye and left, unaware of the tension she just highlighted. Emily and Michael stayed behind, sitting on the bench, whispering, leaning closer. I could hear bits of their conversation, nothing explicit, but every gesture confirmed my worst fears. I muttered, every touch, every smile, it's deliberate, it's calculated, or maybe she's confused. I closed my notebook for a moment, shaking my head. Confused or not, I can't act now. Not until I have the upper hand. I need proof, and I need patience. I leaned back against the lamppost and exhaled slowly. The anger burned inside me, but beneath it, something else formed. A plan, a silent promise. Jason's words echoed. Patience. Observe. Let them unravel themselves. I whispered, yeah, let them unravel. I'll take back control in my time. My way. I scribbled one last note before slipping into the shadows to leave. Emily. Michael, the storm is coming. I just have to wait. The night air was cold, but it felt like clarity. For the first time since I returned, I felt a sense of purpose amidst the chaos. I walked toward my car, silent, unseen, my mind racing with strategies. I wouldn't act hastily. I wouldn't be the one to make a mistake. I would wait, watch, and strike when the time was right. And deep inside, I knew this was the turning point. The moment I stopped being a victim, I wasn't just betrayed. I was becoming unstoppable. I opened the front door quietly, expecting emptiness, but Emily was there, folding laundry. She froze, hands midair. "I didn't hear you come in," she said, voice trembling. "I didn't knock," I replied, my tone low, sharp. "Emily, we need to talk. Now." She put the clothes down slowly. I can explain." I cut her off. "Explain? You think you can just explain everything away?" My fists clenched at my sides. "Do you know what it felt like to come home after 3 years and find this?" Her eyes glistened. I know I've hurt you. I'm sorry. Sorry." I laughed bitterly. Sorry doesn't cover months of lies. Months of betrayal. How could you? I was lonely. You were gone. You were lonely? My voice cracked. "Emily, I fought for this life. I sacrificed everything for us. And while I was risking my life, you were what? Smiling at him? Laughing with him?" She flinched. "I didn't mean to hurt you." You didn't mean to?" I pointed toward her belly. This isn't something you don't mean. This is a life. And it's not mine." Tears welled in her eyes. I know. I made a terrible mistake. But it wasn't only him. It was me too. I was weak. Lonely. I didn't think. You didn't think? I shouted. You didn't think about me? About everything we built? I wanted to feel alive again, she said, desperation in her voice. I didn't know how else to cope with your absence. I shook my head, my vision blurred. You mean you needed him to make you feel alive while I was gone? While I was keeping us alive? Her lips trembled. I'm sorry. I really am. I swallowed hard. My anger boiled, but beneath it, a sharp clarity began to cut through the haze. Sorry isn't enough. I need answers. Why him? Why now? I can't explain everything. It just happened, she said, voice breaking. I never wanted to hurt you. A sudden knock at the door made us both freeze. Emily looked at me, panic flashing across her face. Detective Reynolds, a firm male voice called. May I come in? I felt my chest tighten. Detective Reynolds, Emily's distant uncle, a man known for his strict sense of morality, stepped inside. I heard there's trouble here, he said, glancing at both of us. I stepped forward. Trouble? You could say that. Emily wiped her tears. Uncle. He held up a hand. No explanations yet. I'm here to understand what's going on. Legally, ethically, everything matters. You need to think carefully before saying anything you'll regret. I felt a flicker of calm amidst the storm. Reynolds had always been a voice of reason. I know, I muttered. I can't stay silent. Before anyone could react, the front door opened again. Michael strolled in, smirking. Well, this is awkward, he said casually. I felt my teeth grit. What are you doing here? Michael shrugged. I came to see Emily. But don't worry. I'm sure everything's fine between you two. His smirk was infuriating. Or maybe not. Guess I'll find out. Get out, I shouted. Now. He raised his hands mockingly. Relax. I'm just observing. Like you are, right? Nothing can be undone anyway. You can't change what's already happened. My fists clenched, but I forced myself to breathe. Michael's arrogance was poisonous, but I realized then that blind rage wouldn't serve me. Strategic action would. Emily's eyes pleaded with me. Please don't do anything stupid. I don't want this to destroy us any further. I shook my head. You've destroyed a lot already, Emily. I can't ignore it, but I'm not going to let anger dictate my next move. Detective Reynolds stepped between us. Good. That's wise. Acting on impulse leads to mistakes. You need clarity before action. Emotion can't be your guide. It's dangerous. I nodded slowly. You're right. It's just hard. It's supposed to be hard, Reynolds said. This is about choices, responsibility, and consequences. You want justice? You need to plan it carefully. Don't let betrayal make you reckless. I swallowed and looked at Emily. She was trembling, broken, her eyes full of guilt. I wanted to scream at her, to shake her until she understood, but Reynolds' words held me back. Michael leaned casually against the wall, still grinning. Well, seems like the two of you have some family counseling to do. Don't forget, I got nothing to lose, so enjoy your little talk. I glared at him, then turned to Emily. We'll talk later. I need space. I can't stay here now. I understand, she whispered. I exhaled, walking toward the door, my fists unclenching slightly, but my mind sharper than ever. A storm was building inside me, quiet, controlled, deadly. Remember, Reynolds called after me. Every action has consequences. Think before you move. I will, I muttered. Outside, the air hit me like ice. My chest still burned, but clarity had begun to seep in. Anger would fuel me, but it wouldn't blind me. Michael had shown his arrogance, Emily her weakness. I had witnessed it all, and now I would act on my terms. I clenched my fists once more, feeling the first stirrings of control. I wasn't just hurt. I wasn't just betrayed. I was ready. The storm inside me had begun, and it would not dissipate until I took back what was mine. I sat at my desk, staring at the laptop screen, fingers hovering over the keyboard. 3 years away, and suddenly I had to rebuild everything. Not just trust, but myself. Feeling better? Jason's voice came through the phone. Better isn't the word. I muttered. I need focus. I need control. Good. That's exactly what you need. Control. Don't let anger lead you astray. Start with evidence. Small steps. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Right. I've started documenting everything: calls, texts, sightings, every detail matters. Perfect. And Emily, I'm not thinking about her, I snapped. Then softened. Not yet. I can't let her mistakes define me. Jason chuckled. Good. You're thinking strategically. That's the first step to getting what you want. I leaned back, eyes closing for a moment. Memories of betrayal. Her laughter, Michael's smug grin, surfaced, but I pushed them aside. Focus. Strategy. Action. That would be my revenge. Not violence, not shouting, planning. I called Detective Reynolds later. I need guidance. I want to be careful, smart. Of course, he said. You have to maintain integrity. Keep your evidence legal, moral. Let karma work with you, not against you. I know. I've been taking notes. Tracking behavior, conversations, patterns. Good. And remember, he cautioned, don't let the past poison your future. This is about clarity, not destruction. I hung up and stared at the city skyline from my apartment window. I was no longer the man who came back to betrayal. I was the man who would rise above it. The next morning, I met Sophie at the cafe near my old office. She had been a crush years ago, someone I admired quietly, but distance had kept us apart. Seeing her now felt like a lifeline. You look different, she said, smiling. Stronger. I'm trying, I said. I've got things to handle. She raised an eyebrow. Things like, Michael, I said, letting the word hang. Emily, betrayal, the usual nightmare scenario. Her expression softened. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're not letting it break you. I nodded, sipping my coffee. Not anymore. I'm planning. Strategically. Patience. Observation. Karma. Sophie smiled faintly. That sounds dangerous, but I trust you to handle it. I appreciate that, I said. It's strange. You make me feel like I can actually come back from this. We talked about work, life, old colleagues. Subtly, I reconnected with parts of my past I'd ignored. Friendships, achievements, moments of pride. Each memory reinforced my resolve. I wasn't just a victim. I had identity, integrity, and allies. Later, I followed Michael discreetly. Notes everywhere. Who he met, what he said, how he behaved. He was arrogant, careless, predictable. Perfect for someone like me. Jason called again. Any progress? Yes. He's sloppy. Overconfident. Every interaction leaves a trail. Emily is still attached, but her guilt is growing. I can see it. Good. Keep observing. Be patient. Don't rush. Let them reveal themselves. I scribbled notes in my notebook. Michael flaunts himself. Overestimates control. Emily hesitates when he pushes too far. Evidence accumulates silently. I leaned back, reflecting. My heartbreak still burned, but it fueled strategy, not despair. I could feel myself changing, stronger, sharper, more deliberate. I was reclaiming myself. Sophie messaged later. Lunch tomorrow? I want to see you. I smiled, typing back, sure. Need allies in this fight. Even small gestures mattered. Support, reminders that not everyone was betrayer or enemy. Some people reminded me I still had choices: strength, integrity, patience. At night, I reviewed the evidence I'd gathered so far. Screenshots, messages, observations. Each piece built a bigger picture. A clear, undeniable trail of lies and manipulations. My mind felt steady for the first time in weeks. I whispered to myself, this isn't about revenge yet. It's about preparation, control, power. And soon, they'll see the storm I've been building silently. I checked my bank statements, reorganized my investments. Career moves, financial security, control in every aspect of life. I refused to let betrayal dictate my life. I was reclaiming everything. Jason called one last time that evening. Feeling ready? I am, I said. Patient, observant, calculated. Karma will do the rest. Good, he said. Just remember, you're already stronger than them. Keep it that way. I hung up, staring out at the city lights. My past life was shattered, but a new one was forming. Strategic, controlled, and powerful. Every mistake they made would now become evidence. Every misstep a brick in my quiet revenge. Sophie's support, Jason's guidance, Reynolds' advice, they weren't just allies. They were the framework of my return. My mind was clear. My purpose precise. I whispered again. They think they're safe. They think I'm weak. They have no idea this is only the beginning. The taste of mental revenge, silent, patient, inevitable, settled in. For the first time, I felt the power to reclaim my life. And I knew, deep inside, the storm was ready to rise. I sat in the back corner of the conference room, watching Michael prance around, smiling at his colleagues. The arrogance was palpable, like a shield he thought was impenetrable. Michael, did you finish the report for Reynolds Corp? One of his teammates asked. He waved a hand dismissively. Of course. Everything's perfect. I've handled it all. I stifled a laugh under my breath. Perfect? Not for long. Later, I cornered Olivia, Michael's former business partner, during a coffee break. You remember what you promised me? I asked quietly. She hesitated. You want me to really? Yes. Let him falter. Subtle. He won't see it coming. She nodded. I understand. By the afternoon, Michael's arrogance began to crack. Wait, that number's wrong, he exclaimed in front of the team. No, it can't be. Check again. I stayed in the shadows, watching, notebook open. See? Even his confidence falters when facts collide with reality. Emily appeared in the doorway, hands clutched in front of her. Her eyes met mine briefly. A flicker of guilt passed over her face. I didn't think you'd come, she whispered. I'm here to watch, I replied softly. And you'll see what happens when truth catches up to lies. Michael's voice rose. No, that's impossible. Olivia, this was your responsibility. Olivia shook her head. I followed the protocol. You assumed too much. Your arrogance clouded your judgment. I scribbled notes frantically. Karma. Observation. Precision. Emily stepped closer to me. I feel horrible. I didn't think it would affect his work like this. I know, I said quietly. But it does. And maybe it's what you need to see. That actions have consequences. Her eyes filled with tears. I can't believe I betrayed you. I still love you, you know that, right? I clenched my jaw. I know. But love doesn't erase what's been done. You need to understand that. He spun toward me suddenly. What are you doing here? Michael demanded, voice sharp. This isn't your place. I didn't flinch. I'm watching. You were careless. Overconfident. And now everyone sees it. Michael's colleagues exchanged uncertain glances. The support he counted on began to waver. Whispers, subtle shakes of heads. His smirk faltered. Olivia stepped forward. Michael, maybe it's time to admit mistakes instead of blaming others. He laughed nervously. Mistakes? No, I don't. Emily's voice cut softly through the tension. Michael, look at yourself. You've lied, manipulated, and hurt people for your gain. It's all coming back to you. He froze, eyes darting. Emily, I scribbled in my notebook. Every ally is a crack in his armor. Every word fuels his unraveling. Emily looked at me. I don't want him to fail like this because of me, but I also can't stop it. It's karma. You don't interfere, I said. Let it happen naturally. It's not vengeance. It's consequence. Michael's voice trembled now. You think I'm finished? You can't. No one can. Watch, I said softly. Just watch. His colleagues murmured among themselves. The errors he dismissed earlier were now undeniable. Olivia's evidence, my subtle suggestions, and his own mistakes stacked until there was no escape. Emily whispered, almost to herself, I can't believe it. He's unraveling. I nodded silently, feeling the mix of satisfaction and melancholy. It wasn't triumph born of anger. It was precision, strategy, and inevitability. Michael's phone buzzed incessantly. Texts, emails, messages exposing more of his shortcuts, lies, and broken promises. His allies looked at him differently now, skepticism replacing admiration. Wait, you told them? No, this isn't. His voice broke completely. Emily stepped closer to me again. I want to be forgiven. I know I can't erase what happened, but I shook my head slowly. Forgiveness isn't mine to give yet. You need to see the cost of choices. That's the lesson here. Michael's face twisted in panic as colleagues quietly left his side, refusing to defend him. His charm and arrogance, once his armor, now exposed him entirely. Olivia smiled faintly. Sometimes karma is the most effective teacher. I scribbled one last note. Lesson delivered. No bloodshed. No chaos. Pure cause and effect. Emily's eyes met mine again. I'm sorry, and I love you. I can't stop thinking about us. I exhaled slowly. I know, but love doesn't erase betrayal. Watch, learn, and maybe one day we'll see what that means. Michael's final gasp of control shattered. This can't be happening. I whispered to myself. It is, and it will continue methodically, subtly. Justice isn't anger. It's strategy. Emily looked at him and back at me, guilt and regret flickering across her face. My chest tightened, but I felt calm. Not rage, not despair. Control, clarity. As I left the office, I felt it, my first taste of mental revenge. The storm inside me, once chaotic, now precise. I wasn't broken. I wasn't defeated. I was alive, observant, and empowered. Karma was in motion, and I was the silent orchestrator. I found Emily sitting on the park bench, her hands twisting a scarf, eyes fixed on the ground. The evening sun painted the sky orange, but all I felt was the weight of everything that had happened. Emily, I said softly, sitting beside her. She flinched but didn't look at me. I didn't expect you, she whispered. I know, I said. I didn't come here for surprise. I came here to speak, one last time. Her voice trembled. I don't want to lose you completely. I shook my head slowly. You already did. Or at least, you lost my trust. Everything else is complicated. I know I hurt you, she said, tears brimming. I can't explain why. You don't have to explain everything, I interrupted gently. I need to understand this much. Did you ever love me while I was gone? Her lips quivered. I did. I still do. But I made mistakes. Terrible mistakes. I'm so sorry. I stared at her silently. I wanted to scream, to grab her and shake her until she understood the pain she caused, but I didn't. I breathed in deeply, letting clarity replace the storm. Emily, I loved you too, I said finally. I still feel it sometimes, but love doesn't erase betrayal. Not completely. She looked up at me, eyes wide. Then what do you want from me? I don't want anything anymore, I said. Not revenge, not apologies. I want peace. For me, I can't live in the past forever. My life, it's too precious to be chained by what you did. Emily's tears fell freely now. I understand. I finally understand the depth of what I lost. I nodded, letting silence hang between us. Then she spoke again, quieter. Michael, he's gone now. You've shown me what truth and consequence mean. I didn't do it for you, I said. I did it for myself, for my clarity, for my control. You were a part of it. Yes, but this is my life to reclaim. Emily swallowed hard, glancing down. And us? Is there any chance? I shook my head firmly. No, not for now. Maybe never. I need independence, space to grow without being tied to past pain. Her lips quivered again. I wish I could take it all back. I would if I could. I know, I said softly. But regrets can't undo actions. They can only guide us forward. We sat together in silence for a few minutes. The wind, rustling leaves, the city sounds muted around us. My mind wandered, reflecting. I survived betrayal. I rebuilt. I watched karma unfold. And now, I choose growth over bitterness. A voice interrupted the quiet. Emily, everything okay? Liam, her co-worker who had stayed a quiet observer, approached cautiously. Yes, Liam, Emily said, dabbing her eyes. We're okay. I watched him, noting the difference. Loyal, steady, respectful, not manipulative, not arrogant. He didn't take advantage of weakness. He helped others grow. I whispered to myself, there's a difference between betrayal and loyalty, and I see it clearly now. Emily looked at me again. I don't deserve you. I deserve better, I said simply. And I'm giving it to myself. That's enough for me. She nodded, lips pressed tightly together. I hope you're happy someday. Truly happy. I will be, I said. Not because of anyone, not because of vengeance, not because of you, because I choose it, because I can. I stood slowly. I have to go now. I can't linger in this anymore. Emily reached out, hesitating. Will we ever talk again? Perhaps, I said, but not today. Today, I walk away knowing my worth, knowing my strength, knowing that life goes on. Her gaze lingered as I stepped back. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know, I said. And I forgive you, not for you, but for me, so I can move forward. The air felt lighter as I walked away, each step solid, purposeful. I didn't feel anger anymore. I didn't feel obsession. I felt clarity. As I reached the street, I glanced back once. Emily was still sitting on the bench, small, fragile, remorseful. I felt a twinge of sorrow, yes, but not enough to halt me. I murmured under my breath, this is my turning point. From now on, my life is mine to shape. The city lights glinted ahead, and I walked toward them with deliberate steps. No shadows of betrayal could follow me. No echoes of heartbreak could bind me. I had chosen growth. I had chosen independence. I had chosen peace. And for the first time in months, I felt a quiet smile tug at my lips. Strength, clarity, and self-respect. Mine, fully, irreversibly. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, it was mine to claim. The first time in months, I felt calm. I was sitting in my old family home, the aroma of fresh bread and coffee filling the kitchen. Mom's laughter echoed softly, and I realized how much I had missed this. The warmth, the simplicity, the sense of belonging. You look rested, she said, smiling as she placed a plate in front of me. I am, I said, smiling back. I'm finally taking control again. It feels good. Dad leaned back, hands behind his head. It's about time, son. You've been through hell. I know, I replied, glancing out the window at the garden I used to play in as a kid. But I'm not broken. I've rebuilt, carefully, every piece of my life. I'm reclaiming it. Later, I met Jason at the cafe we frequented before everything fell apart. So, he said, sliding a coffee cup across the table, how's the master plan coming along? I chuckled softly. Master plan? Let's call it life, not vengeance. Michael's downfall was inevitable, and Emily, she lives with her choices. But me? I'm just focusing on my own path now. Jason raised an eyebrow. And Sophie? She's still in the picture? She is, I said, a faint smile tugging at my lips. Supportive, steady, not like the past. I feel like I can trust her, and that's rare these days. He nodded approvingly. Good. You deserve someone who strengthens you, not someone who betrays you. We talked strategy, yes, but also life, career moves, reconnecting with old friends, rebuilding bonds I neglected. Each conversation reminded me that strength wasn't just revenge. It was balance, clarity, and measured action. Later that week, Sophie and I walked along the river, leaves drifting in the wind. I can't imagine what you went through, she said quietly. But I admire how calm you become. You're unshakable now. I've learned, I said. Betrayal, heartbreak. They can either destroy you or teach you. I chose to learn. She glanced at me, smiling softly. Good choice. And maybe a second chance at happiness. I chuckled. We'll see. Slowly, carefully. Trust matters more than infatuation now. Back at my apartment, a letter lay on the table. Emily's handwriting unmistakable. I picked it up, hesitated, then opened it. I'm sorry. It began, truly sorry for everything. I can't change the past, but I hope one day you'll find peace and happiness. I hope you forgive me, not for me, but for yourself. I'll carry my mistakes always, and I hope it teaches me to be better. I exhaled, setting it down. No rage, no anger, just quiet understanding. A chapter closing. I ran my fingers over a childhood keepsake, a small compass my father had given me before my first deployment. It reminded me of direction, of purpose. No matter the storms, I had a way to navigate life. Memories of military life surfaced. Harsh mornings, camaraderie, sacrifice. Those years had shaped me, but so had the betrayals and heartbreak. Each experience reinforced resilience, focus, and the knowledge that control starts from within. Jason called later. Any thoughts on the future? I smiled. Yes. I plan to advance my career, reconnect with friends and family, and live fully. I've learned that life is too short for grudges or regret. Karma has played its part, and now it's my turn to thrive. Sophie texted, dinner tonight? I want to celebrate your rebirth. I typed back, absolutely. Let's toast to new beginnings. Even small gestures mattered. Friendship, laughter, trust. They reminded me that healing wasn't passive. It was active, deliberate, and empowering. Walking along the river that evening, I reflected on the events of the past months. Michael's public disgrace had stripped him of credibility. Emily's regret was evident, though I didn't gloat. My satisfaction came from balance, not schadenfreude. I stopped at a quiet spot and looked at the water, moonlight rippling across the surface. I survived betrayal, I whispered to myself. I reclaimed my life. And now, I choose hope. A few days later, sunrise came. I watched it from my apartment balcony, golden light spilling across the city. The world seemed vast, full of possibilities. I felt lighter than I had in years, unshackled from anger, regret, and obsession. Jason called once more. Morning. Beautiful sunrise. Yeah, I said. It's a reminder. Every day is new. Every day I get to choose strength, clarity, and peace. Sophie's message pinged. Ready for a new day together? I smiled, typing, always. Looking out at the horizon, I felt it, the culmination of heartbreak, betrayal, revenge, and growth. I had walked through fire, faced my demons, and emerged intact. Stronger, clearer, independent. The letter from Emily, the compass from my past, the lessons of karma, they weren't just memories. They were milestones of transformation. The sunrise bathed the city in warmth. I inhaled deeply. Life stretched ahead, unbroken and bright. And I knew, finally, that closure wasn't just an ending. It was a beginning built on strength, clarity, and the quiet triumph of self-reclamation. I smiled again, letting the sunlight wash over me.